Hello and welcome. My name is Tim Lawless, Manager of Vendor Research at the Infotech Research Group. Today, I'm going to share some insight and best practice on the selection and implementation of a managed file transfer solution. Nearly 60% of employees don't understand their role in the organization's security culture, which includes file security. We see evidence of this every day, with sensitive data being sent in unprotected attachments to external recipients, being saved to unencrypted storage media like flash drives, or shared using cloud-based consumer-grade tools. While some organizations attempt draconian measures to block all these avenues, the impact on user productivity can create significant backlash. The more appropriate response is to take control of the movement of files by providing a secure, user-friendly, managed file transfer solution that reduces risk while simultaneously enabling users to accomplish their file sharing goals. Managed file transfer solutions can do a lot more than move a file from one user to another. MFT can be deployed as part of business process automation to trigger automated file transfers. It can support mass file exchanges where both the quantity and size of the files requires a protocol-based delivery. And they can allow you to monitor user file transfers so you can track documents as they move through the organization. With an MFT, you can be confident that any confidential or sensitive files are securely transmitted, that appropriate controls are in place to create a chain of custody, and that there is full visibility and an audit trail for regulatory and compliance purposes. These benefits translate into tangible efficiencies, such as reducing both the number of transfer errors by up to 26% and the mean time to resolution in the event of an error by up to 5 times. In some instances, an MFT can deliver a file up to 30 times faster than a traditional file transfer protocol, meaning that a file that used to take 5 minutes to send would now only take 10 seconds. Infotech's evaluation of the MFT market is broken up into 4 use cases, modeled after some key requirement scenarios. Today, we will focus on the enterprise-level requirements, where server-to-server file transfers are often part of a larger business process automation initiative, and ad hoc uses are often part of business functions, such as frequent file sharing with external partners or customers, or regular submission of documents like timesheets or expense forms. Each use case comes with unique feature weightings that are designed to best reflect the anticipated requirements. For enterprise server-to-server, Infotech heavily weighted content-based routing and file delivery assurance. Ensuring that files make it to the intended destination, automatically restarting any interrupted transfers, and logging all those events for audit purposes are all key within the highly automated nature of this type of use case. In the ad hoc scenario, organizations are looking to minimize the impact on end users when deploying an MFT and reorienting processes to include it. Integration with email clients is absolutely key here, as email is the most common way that employees send files, up to 15 attachments a day on average. They are comfortable and familiar with the email client, and adoption is greatly aided by providing new file transfer functionality from within an established tool. Enterprise feature sets will naturally come with enterprise-level price tags, so Infotech recommends assessing your organization's requirements, knowing what is critical, knowing what's mandatory, important, and nice to have. You may have to make some concessions depending on budgetary restrictions, so knowing where you can and cannot compromise is important. Infotech uses a custom metric to provide high-level insight into the balance of rich functionality and price point, the value index. While each of the use cases has its own unique value index, vendors who perform well in both would be top contenders for a budget-conscious enterprise looking for a robust but affordable MFT solution. Regardless of the solution you pursue, there are some best practices that should be followed to keep this project on the right path. First, it is imperative to align your solution selection and deployment to business needs and technical constraints, which can only be done through detailed requirements gathering. These requirements should be well documented in a business case, a project charter, and any other planning documents that you may use. The project should also have clearly defined metrics such as reduction in risk exposure or file transfer latency, which will define the success of the initiative and ultimately determine the value of the investment. One area that is often overlooked is establishing and maintaining lines of communication with the vendor and any partners, such as systems integrators, involved in the deployment. Regular updates, both documented and conversations, will make sure that there is always mutual understanding of progress, objectives, and any issues. We also recommend that clients always validate what is being pitched. So if a vendor's collateral says that it has a feature or function, ask them to prove it to you, either through a demo or client references. It's easy to focus on the external factors like the vendor, but you can't forget about training your employees and removing barriers to adoption. A lack of education on the new process will hurt adoption and may even lead to users looking for workarounds, which defeats the purpose of a managed solution in the first place. For automated workloads, be sure to prioritize your migration appropriately, starting with non-mission critical transfers in case something doesn't work as planned, and then rolling out to more increasingly important functions. Combined with the right solution, these best practices will maximize the chance of success in your MFT deployment. That's all for today, but if you're interested in learning more, you can click the link in the description to download the complete report, including the full vendor comparison of the different solutions available in the market. Thank you for watching.